I think you have moments during the season where it feels like it's going pretty slow, but then, I think the second half, month of March, we're playing every other game. We're on the road the whole time. It kind of flew by, and now we're last game of the season, getting ready for the playoffs.
Go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Nate, what's been the toughest part for you? Is it the isolation on the road, or kind of take us through how you've dealt with everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure the hardest part, I think, was the isolation. I think you talk to most guys throughout the league, and I think that's the hardest part. You can't go out to dinner. You can't, even really when we're home, really can't go to each other's houses. You can't really see the guys except at the rink. So, that changes the whole dynamic of a regular season where it's normal. So, yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part. But at the same time, I mean, I think that our team has done a pretty good job of, when we do go on the road, there are places that we can hang out together and that are allowed. And we've done a pretty good job at that. So it's, it's one of those seasons that is, kind of an anomaly because of, the situation that we're in the world. So, I think we've made the most of it, but at the same time, like you said, there has been its challenges.
And we'll go back to Paul Friesen for a follow-up. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm just curious how that kind of affects the feel going into the postseason. Does it alter that too, this chase for the cup?
I don't think so. I think that it's the playoffs, and I think every guy is excited to play in the playoffs. I think it's this is the best time of the season. This is the best time. This is what you work out for. This is what you train for. This is what you dream about as a kid is, playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I don't think that changes the mentality of any of us.
We'll go next to Ken Wiebe from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weber.
Thanks, Gregor. Morning, Nate. Any lessons to be learned from the bubble experience of the playoffs last year? Obviously, we know the circumstances are different, but in terms of the preparation.
I think, that was a different scenario as well. I guess it's similar in the fact for us with no fans. I think we have to, I think in the bubble, every team had to create their own momentum, create their own excitement, whether it's, guys cheering from the bench. And, I think that by this time, I think we're pretty used to it with no fans, and it is what it is. But at the same time, like I said, it's a Stanley Cup playoffs. You're playing for something pretty special. So I would expect every guy is going to be pretty excited to play.
We'll go back to Ken Wiebe for a follow-up. Go ahead, Ken.
What's the most important lesson you've learned from your vast experience in the playoffs that you can take into next week?
I think the biggest thing I've learned, a couple things, I think is you don't get a lot of opportunities to play in the playoffs. I've said this to younger guys, and older guys said it to me when I was a younger guy, is when you do get in the playoffs, you have to make the most of it and take advantage of the opportunity, because it's hard to make the playoffs. And, you have to just enjoy the moment. And I think the biggest thing is, the playoffs is a roller coaster of emotions, even within the game. And as cliche as it sounds, you do have to stay at an even keel, and you have to, kind of have that kind of stay in the moment mentality, because if you get too high or get too low, you look at teams that have won and teams that have lost. Sometimes it's the team that cracks. It's a team that, lets their emotion gets the best of them. So I think those are the two biggest things that the course of my career that I've learned about the playoffs.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CGOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor. Nate, first question here for you. And I think I have this remembered correctly. One of the bonuses with signing with the Jets as a free agent last year is you'd be closer to your son. So has that been one of the tough parts for you? I don't know if you had a chance to see your son because of the border issue?
Yeah, it's that's been probably one of the hardest things for me. I think I haven't been able to see him because of the border, the quarantine, and he's in school, and it's been tough. I mean that those are kind of things that I know I'm not the only guy. Those are kind of things that I think people don't realize that some guys are going through, not seeing family members, and for me, not seeing my son. I haven't seen him since before the season started. So that's that's a tough one. But I don't really have much else to say about it except that it's hard, and but it is what it is, and we have to do a job, and and luckily technology, we FaceTime, so I FaceTime him quite a bit, and that's I don't have much else to say about that.
And final question back to Kelly Moore. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thanks, Gregor. So Nate, thank you for the honesty and for answering that as best as you could. I want to leave this on a light note, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to get emotional today. Almost.
Who's going to finish second best playoff beard on the Winnipeg Jets behind Nate Thompson?
Oh,
second part of that question: who's going to have the worst?
That's better. A little more lighthearted. Second best behind me, I'd probably give it to Frenchie, to Matthew Perreault. He's got a pretty good beard. I feel like he shaves his beard and then tomorrow it'll be full again. So we have very similar beards that way. So he'll probably be second best.
Thanks very much, Nate.
No problem.